What's up, everybody? It is your boy Maniac. I'm actually over the road at my day job, or my weekly job. I'm an over the road truck driver through the week, and I come home on the weekend, sometimes Friday, sometimes Saturday. I just wanted to address some questions. I've been getting them on a lot of platforms, and I figured I'd address it right here. I mean, why not? People are asking me, how come I raise Coturnix quail instead of Bobwhite quail? Well, that's a simple answer. When I started my quail journey, and I called and wanted to figure out what all the laws were and everything, so I called the Wildlife Management Center, where we live, and Alabama Game and Fish, and I told them I wanted to raise Bobwhite quail, and the way it was explained to me was, well, you got to buy permits, and then you got to buy a license, then you got to buy this, and then you got to buy these other permits. And I'm like, man, all this just to raise a bird? And he was like, yeah, they're federally protected now and all this other crap. And I'm like, man, I was going to grow them to eat, maybe sell to some hunting clubs or something like that. And I'm not going to lie, that guy told me, he said, Mr. Hodson, unless you got a really good paying job or you got some money, it's going to cost you quite a bit of money. He said, what quail do you have right now? I said, well, I have Coturnix. He said, don't matter. You ain't got to worry about nothing with them. And so I've been watching these videos that the other people have watched. They just popped up on my For You page, I guess, on YouTube and all. And they're saying that there's I think it was on Meat Eater. One of those popped up too. And, they was talking about the short Bobwhite quail are practically almost extinct. I mean, they're just no more, they're gone. And they're like, yeah, I'm sure the farming takes out a bunch. All the extra coyotes and bobcats we have takes out a bunch. And, just growth of the world, people expanding and stuff, I'm sure that takes out a bunch. But I'm not going to say I know somebody personally, but there are tons of people that are raising Bobwhite quail that don't understand that you actually have to have a license, permits, pay all this money. And the Alabama Game and Fish explained to me that once you do this, it's pretty much like a program. And they come to your property, your farm, your house, wherever you're raising them, and they test like 10 quail the first time, then 20 quail, then 40 quail, then 100, depending on how many quail you have. And they might give you a day or two notice, but most of the time they just show up. And I mean, I'm not gonna lie, I don't want somebody walking all over my property, inspecting my birds, injecting my birds with anything, I don't know. And because they offer you this license and everything, I mean, it's a whole lot of headache and money. And I don't have the money to pay for that. I do love Bobwhites. They are the largest ones, and man, they could produce a lot of meat for my family. And it would be cool to sell them, but in Alabama, you got to have a license and a permit. But I watched so many shows that explained that they're almost obsolete. You can't go anywhere. You might find one covey of quail. But I actually know that my dad has a couple of coveys on his property, and they've been there for years. I mean, there's no telling how many he's actually had. I think he accidentally ran over one time. They'll sit on their nest and all. And tractors are always killing the eggs in all these farms you see everywhere. So my thing is, they're talking about there's a short, they're becoming extinct, you might as well say. That you can't find them anymore, you can't do anything. And luckily there's people that raise them that don't know that you need all this, and then there's people that raise them that just don't care. They just don't tell nobody. So luckily that's happening, and you can buy eggs all over eBay. I mean, like it's nothing. But I don't need them coming to my farm finding me. I can't afford the fines and all that. So that's why I don't have Bobwhite quail on my farm. Would I like to have Bobwhite quails? You better believe it. But my thing is, if they're going away, if you can't find them, they're getting killed, they're getting murdered by predators, all this stuff is going on, then why would you not lift these licenses, lift all these permits, to where people who've been raising quail as long as I have can actually raise them and turn them loose. I mean, heck, you know, or you know what? You're spending all these millions of dollars or hundreds of thousands of dollars to these guys that sit behind a desk or might go to a farm and watch the quail or some crap like that. I mean, instead of spending all this money, I mean, just support the feed bill for farmers. That's what I would do. Find small guys like me and be like, hey man, whatever feed you buy it. Where do you get feed? I buy it from here. Okay, well, you go to this store. We've got an account set up. You buy the feed strictly for those quail. It's covered. I'd raise all the bobwhite quails they wanted me to raise. But, I mean, I'd be turning them loose like crazy. I'd flood the mountain with bobwhite quail. And I just don't understand it. They're spending all this money for research on them. But yet they're choking the people out that can raise them and can mass produce. I mean, heck, I could probably raise 1,000. I don't know. I could raise a bunch. But I mean, turn loose some and let me eat some, you know? I mean, so all in all, I hate to ramble and crap like that, but I would love to raise bobwhite quail. But in the state of Alabama, you got to have permits, you got to have licenses, you got to have them come out and check your birds and do all this crap. So that's why I don't do it. And yeah, I could raise them and nobody even know I had them, but I got kids and a wife, and I don't want nothing like that. I got in trouble in my past, and man, oh my Lord. The good Lord got me out of that trouble a long time ago, and I don't ever want to be in that trouble again, you know, so that's why I don't have them. And maybe, you know, some state representative or anybody that matters may see this video one day, and maybe they'll be like, you know, he's right. You know, they watch my videos and they see I raise quail without issue, without problem. And maybe they might contact me and be like, hey, we're going to allow you to do this without people coming out on your property all the time checking your quail. But, you know, I'd start turning them loose in the wild, which I understand that they want to come out and make sure there's none of this. There's like a parasite that gets behind the eyes and crap like that of the quail, or at least they say. And, I mean, there's a ton of reasons, but I believe if you raised a bunch of them and turned them loose like crazy, I mean, I think you could rebuild a population pretty quick. But that's why I don't raise bobwhites. Yes, I would love to have bobwhites all day, every day, and they produce a lot of eggs. So maybe this answers the questions that I've been getting from y'all. Maybe somebody important can be like, hey, we want this guy to start raising bobwhite quail so he can feed his family and he'll just turn them loose, you know? But, I mean, they ain't even got a front to feed bill. Let me raise them, I'll freaking feed them. But, I mean, you know, if it's going to be some kind of research crap, pay me to, you know, pay for the feed and crap. So, yeah. Hopefully this video wasn't stupid, wasn't boring. I hate that I'm not on my farm, but, you know, bills have to get paid. Lights have to be on all the time, and the heat in this winter weather we've been having. And I appreciate all y'all for watching these. And till next time, I am your boy Maniac, y'all. Thank you for watching Maniac Nation. We out.